Welcome, class. Today's lesson is going to be introduced by Alexis.
Adding and subtracting polynomials. Here you go, Mom.
Thank you, Alex. All right, to start off, in this first example, we have two trinomials that are being added together. And really, guys, all there is we're going to group the like terms. So the 5x squared here in the front of this one will go with the negative 3x squared in the second one. And 5x squared minus 3x squared is a 2x squared. Then we'll do the next one, which is a negative 3x. That combines with the positive 6x and will give us a positive 3x. And then final, we have a positive 4 with a negative 3, which gives us a positive 1. And that's final. That's all we can do. We added them together. That's pretty much your lesson. We're going to see a couple of different looks on this. So on this one, we'll put, you look to see if there is one that can be combined with what you have. So we have y to the fourth. Do we have anything to the fourth? And we do, a negative 2y to the fourth. So these two are like terms. So a negative 2y4 and a positive y4 leaves a negative y to the fourth. And you'll notice I'm starting with my largest term first because, like the previous lesson, we want to write our polynomials in standard form, which starts with the largest degree. Okay, the next one, I see a y to the third in the second polynomial, but no y to the third in the first. So all I'll do is bring this 2y to the third down. There's nothing to combine it with. Okay, then we'll have negative 3y and a positive 2y. So that'll leave a negative y. And then I've got a positive 7 and a negative 11, which will give us a negative 4. And there we are finished. Okay, so let's go on to another example. This is where it gets a little different because it's subtracting instead of adding. So when you see us subtracting, we're going to go ahead and change it to adding and change the signs of everything inside the second polynomial. So instead of a positive 7, we'll have a negative 7, a positive y3, and a negative 12y. Now we can put them together by adding. All right, we're going to start with our positive y to the third. That's our largest degree, so y to the third begins. Then we have positive 5y squared. We don't have another y squared, so it just drops down to 5y squared. Then we'll have 8y's with negative 12y's. So that makes us negative 4y's. And then we'll have negative 10 with a negative 7, so negative 17. And that's it. One piece at a time. Here's another subtracting one. These look really, like complicated, but they're not that bad once you learn how to do them. All right, so since I see subtraction, I'm going to go through and change my signs first. That makes that a plus. That'll make that one a positive, this one a negative, and this one a positive. Now I can combine them. My largest degree is to the third power, so I'll start here. 4x cubed and 2x cubed makes 6x cubed. Then we'll have negative 3x squared and a negative x squared. So that'll make negative 4x squared. Then we'll have just a positive 6x by itself. There's not another x over here, so just bring it down. And then a negative 4 and a positive 2 leaves a negative 2. That one's finished. I hope you guys kind of like these. It's always fun when something's easy. Okay, in this case, we have the largest term would be the first one here, because this would be to a degree of 3. So we'll look over here, and we do have a like term. So we'll be left with a negative x squared y, because 2 take away 1. Then we'll put our negative 3x squared down because that's the next largest degree. And then we'll have positive y and a positive 3y, so a positive 4y. And that's finished. We've used all our terms and combined them. There we go. I know I have a lot of examples. I'm not going to do quite all of them for time reasons, because if you hang out to the end, I have another bonus on here. All right. Looking at our degrees, the first one's a degree of 3. So is the next one a degree of 3. So let's just start with the first one. So RXT, we have an RXT here. Oh, hang on. We got to change our signs first. Let's go back. Make that a plus. This is a negative. This is a negative now. And that's a positive. Now we can combine it. So we've got a negative 5 and a positive 4. So that leaves a negative RXT. Then we have a negative 8 r squared x. We don't have an r squared x in the other polynomial. So this will just drop down because there's not one that's r squared x. It has to be exactly the same exponents with the same variables in order to be like terms. So then this is also a degree of 3. So we'll bring this negative 6rx squared next, because I can't combine it. It doesn't have a matching piece on the other one. And then the final one, we have a positive x squared and a positive 2x squared. We can put those together, so that'd be a positive 3x squared. And that one's finished. What you're going to notice, some of your answers will be very long. That's okay. So next we have 3 polynomials being added together. Just take it one step at a time. Our biggest degree is 5a squared. We have a squared and then a 4a squared. So 5 plus 1 is 6 plus 4. We have 10a squares. Next we have a negative 2a and a negative 6a. So that'll make negative 8a's. Then we'll have negative 4, positive 12. Right there we're at 8. And another 8, so we're at 16. And that's all 3 of them put together. What you should do on your paper, like I'm circling the terms I'm using, do something like that. Circle them, mark them out as you use them so you don't forget one. You don't leave any out. And that way when I look back, I see that I've used every term. And here's one where 2 are added and then 1 is subtracted. In this case, first thing I'm going to do is change my signs. That's a plus, that's a negative, and that's a plus. Now I can treat them all as adding. My biggest term here is 3c squared, and this negative c squared, so it's like 3 minus 1, so it's 2c squared. Then I'll have positive 4c and a negative 5c, so that'll be just negative c. Then I've got a negative 7 and the positive 7. Well, those are gone. All I'm left with is positive 8. And there's my answer. All right, guys, let's see what we've got. Here's your bonus. This is actually the last question on your assignment when you come to class tomorrow. So you get to get the answer if you'll hang with me. The measures of 2 sides of a triangle are given. If P is the perimeter, and the perimeter is 10x plus 5y, find the measure of the third side. Well, what we'll do is we'll take our perimeter, which is 10x plus 5y. And we're going to set that equal to the other 2 sides added together. So 3x plus 4y, which is one side, put that in parentheses, added to the other side, 5x minus y. First step is we're going to combine like terms on this side. Add our polynomials. So we've got a 3x and a 5x. That makes 8x. Then we've got a 4y minus y. So that's positive 3y. And this part will come on down, 10x plus 5y. Next, we'll combine like terms by crossing the equal sign. So we'll subtract 8x, which gives us 2x, and we'll subtract 3y, which gives us a positive 2y. And that's it. It's just an expression for that side that's missing. So what happened is we combined the two sides here, subtracted their combination from the perimeter, and what we're left over with is the missing side. That's how you do it. I'll see you in class.